Hey guys, and welcome to an almost personal reading where I just dive in to see what's going to happen here. It's past, present, future, hopes, fears, and all of that. Celtic cross, classic Celtic cross, guys. And it is an almost personal for whoever needs it, so take what resonates, leave behind the rest, never ever force it to fit if it doesn't. And we're using round decks. I have two round decks. I have my always lovely archetype, and I have a new deck. It's the golden original. It's a round deck. I love round decks. Alright, let's just get into it. Hope you're doing amazing. I already shuffled. Yes, I did. I was just doing, should I shuffle it just in camera? Like, no. Alright. 4 wands in the reverse, and we have the poet in the reverse. 4 wands and the twisted poet there. Someone here has lied. The situation here, there's something here that was not fully said, that was truthful, and it's making it difficult to feel at home or feel welcome. Could be in the home, could just feel in the environment of, that we need to feel, in order to feel welcome, in order feeling that we are well received, that we are welcome. The truth is there, and I get here that someone here has not spoken truthfully about the situation. The challenge isn't someone here is finding it difficult to be vulnerable, and it's being reflected back to them. The challenge is also that the burdens that we carry with us are reflected back. So if we are taking on too much, it's being reflected back to us. But let's look into it. I really get that there's a matter here about the consequences of there not being things being truthful. I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna do it now. The poet. It was just right there. The poet in the reverse. Harmful words, sharp tongue, thwarted creativity. I still get it not being truthful. The poet is present. When the poet energy is present, there's a call for deep honesty and reflection, and we had the mirror, right? For seeing the big picture within the little one. The poet writes effortlessly between personal and universal. The poet is just a matter here about being able to be objective here and not being, just not. Yeah, it's about the way that we communicate, that we can do it in a way where we don't spit out our own hurt onto others, right? Because that creates this environment, and it also creates an environment where there's this heaviness, and it's being reflected back, and it just creates a little bit of a disharmony here of not feeling welcome, not feeling safe actually, within your own home or within your friends, your family here. But I also get that was a lie. But let's see. We have the sun in the recent past, and it shows up with the father, so that's very interesting, because what's leading up to this is actually guidance, it's happiness, it's things being clear. So something here has shifted. There's a positive energy in the past. The foundation is good, but it also means that things here can be restored. It can be salvaged, so to say. But right now, with this poet in the reverse, we're gonna dive into that, because that is the challenge here. The thing is also that I get when someone here is being sharp with their words, when they're not being fully truthful, when they're letting their own pain blast out on the environment, it's picked up by the environment or the people. When I say environment, it's the people we hang out with, right? The place where we are, the space where we are, be it in the family, at home, with our parents or siblings, our in-laws, or whether it's being in the friend space where we are with our friends, public, private, or in the work environment, right? That's just, yeah. But it's picked up there. So let's see. The sword of truth is underneath it all. And we have the threshold. Something here is going to come. There's going to be an opportunity for things to become very clear. And that's going to mark the beginning of something new. Then we're going to need to look into that poet there. So that's supporting the entire thing here. And it's also supporting that, being able to be truthful, to be able to be clear, to be able to accept also things as they are, although they may be heavy is also that of going to be supportive here, although it does feel as though it's heavy. we have an ending here that's in the focus, and it shows up with the shaman in the reverse. We're gonna look. I don't know why I'm right these days. I'm needing my books, but I think it's because the words here, the words that I get from this book is actually good. It's always been like that. For some reason or another, words I kickstart something. Some people have it. I also get it with visions or visuals, but words. Should we take like poetry? The poet there, but poetry really has always been the way in for me. It's not about what it says on it. It's something that it sparks. Show me the bloody shaman. Oh shaman, where art thou, shaman? I'm not giving up now, I'm being stubborn. I know. Fine, I'm just gonna go over here. I am not shaman. Oh, it's not with an R. I always say shaman, it's not a shaman. 93. Shaman, I can't pronounce that. The shaman. Clearly I can't. The shaman is the magi, the sorcerer, the medicine woman. It's a fearless student and practitioner. But here, when it shows up like this, it's someone who overpromises and blames and hurts oneself and others. It's the same, yeah, it's the same energy I had there. It's someone here who is in pain themselves, so they blast it out on others. It is an interesting story here. There are 3 archetypal archetypes here, that ingredients that constitute the shaman, meaning that what does it take to become up to be able to embody this shaman here, right? So first, it's activated by being a student, right? Being a long-standing and diligent student, learning from life. Then what happens is the second orientation. It aims towards the healing of self and the other and the culture. So we go from being a mentor, being the student here, starting here, right? And then turning the lessons that we learn into oneself, then onto others in a close, intimate relationship, and then the bigger whole, right? That's healing. And then after that, this shaman, then after the next step is the ability here to find doorways, that threshold down here, into the world, into something that is unseen. When the shaman is up right here, it's someone here who masters the bridge between everyday and something sacred, right? It's actually someone who has this ability to jump between the different roles. And always, a shaman is always, as an energy, it's always someone who's always learning, always expanding, knowing that there will never be a limit. Things will never be over, but we will always be a student. There's no, even the teacher is also a student. Sometimes the student teaches the teacher, right? In the way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday world and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet, where there's power, there's shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. But when it's in the reverse that it's someone here who gives promises they cannot keep. And by doing that, they hurt themselves and they hurt others, and then they disappoint. And then we have the world here. So what I'm getting here is that on the surface, things are feeling welcome. It's like putting on a show, putting on a mask here, that everything is okay. And actually showing up in the world with like with the image of, I'm ready to take on a new world. In the past, thinking things were clear for me in a particular way. I'm happy. I'm ready for the new. But the challenge is something here is heavy, and that is actually being reflected back. But what is heavy is hidden. It's hidden behind the mask. And it's a situation where there was actually a guidance here in the past. There was something solid. But there's a pain here. There's a pain from someone being within oneself or in the outside world. You will see what it is. But where there was a promise that was not kept. And I also get that someone here may actually be promising oneself more than they can give to themselves, and that disappoints themselves. It's like setting up too high standards for themselves. or someone else doing it for them, but it there is just this hurtful word. Yeah, but let's see what's coming up there. Actually, happiness. This is good. Happiness, but also again the destroyer in the reverse. This is interesting. They are all round decks, right? So they can all go twisted and then reverse. So it's again here. There's actually a little bit of a, what do you call it, when we have a, imagine you have a glass or something, and there's like a scratch down, what we call it when it's crooked, like that. The thing in Beauty and the Beast where the little cup has like a crooked, but it still makes it perfect that it has it, right? Right. What's coming up is actually going from something heavy here into a community where people are aligned, but there's also still something here that should probably be destroyed, and that's what's lurking down here. That's in the shadow. It's in the shadow. We need to look into the shadow. That's why I love the archetypes. Where your attitude at, you're the one here who's disconnecting, and the judge, you're wielding that sword of truth. You're seeing things clearly, and you're disconnecting from something here that you may have invested something into. So you are actually showing up as though you're ready for the new. I'm very interested to see what it is that lurks in the shadow. Feels though you are on the movement. You're about to go somewhere where you feel home, where you are accepted. But you carry a burden with you, and that is what is in the shadow. But you're going somewhere good. In your environment is this. This is where we have it. This is that which has not been fully seen or released. Now it may actually be in your environment that we have this harsh voice. Why? Because we have the eternal child, because there's an immaturity. It's time to look at the eternal child. The eternal child is someone who doesn't grow up, basically. It says for itself, it's the eternal child. But eternal child is a good thing because that's where we get creativity, right? Yeah, joyful, playful, accepts magic. Yeah, and it doesn't accept magic when it's like this. This is the inner child when it's in the upright, but it's in the reverse. The eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless Botox? No. And infinite aspects of life. It's radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else at any cost. It struggles being bound by an aging body with physical limitations. Oh no. In a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. The eternal child wants to nix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. I don't like it. I hope not this is jealousy. Some people can become jealous of people, the youngs, because they have more opportunities than we did when we were younger, or when we were that age, or becoming jealous of the opportunities of the younger generations, becoming jealous of beauty and youth, becoming jealous of what other people can do because they didn't take the action to go the same direction. Hopefully not that's taking place, but I'm just seeing, yeah. Anyway, it wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where the divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the eternal child naturally popular, perhaps even famous, and the eternal child glimmers and reminds of all that is previous life. This is like being jealous of people who are popular, being jealous of what the abundance of other people is not a good thing, because then it prompts someone here to go into this gossip energies. It stems from an insecurity within oneself. It's like hating people who are popular just because they're popular, because you're not. It stems from an insecurity. I remember when I was young, I think that was how I started working on jealousy. I took myself in actually not liking someone, and I had no reason not to. And then I stopped myself and started working on myself because I didn't like that in myself. And because so she's pretty and popular. It's like she had done nothing. And she did. She's not. She's beautiful and all that. And I stopped. because it's not, because it is actually a nasty feeling. It's like, why am I feeling this as an insecurity within oneself? It's like, why hate people just because they got things going? Because maybe it's because self-loathing. I don't know why. Because it is. We're gonna dive into it, because that would then mean this sharp word, this that in the shadow stems from something outside of you, which is normally not something that I like such readings, right? Because that means we then remove responsibility. But in all cases, when it's in the dark, this child, it turns addicted, selfish, adrift, and it burns out. It's the Peter Pan, right? It's like, I want to be a child. I wanna have what you have. It's like, you can't. All right, what's in your hopes and fears? Oh, diplomacy. Being, and then the riddle in the reverse. But your hopes, this is so, your hope and fears is almost like you to heal. I also see that you're hoping that something better will come your way, that something good. It's you're hoping for the best, basically. I just don't like it, and it's almost like you're also wanting to help. This is what happens to popular people, right? They do that. They really have enough. There's no reason for people to dislike them. I'm not saying that you are popular, but you know, it's that of, you know, I've got things going. I just want to help you. I just want to help you grow, or want to do something good for you, and then someone here hurts you. It's like, why? There must be something going on. People who do that. Not saying that that's taking place here, but I want to see the riddle. The tools, the riddle. Riddle. Minus 71. We're gonna see the full picture when we get it out, right? But this is your hopes and fears. You're hoping that a solution will be reached, but at the same time you're also fearing manipulation and deceit and being tricked here. You're fearing that someone here will lie to you, that you can't trust. And I feel that is the beauty here. The beauty here in this is that you're ready to receive the abundance in your world here. Is that closing out a chapter here? Closing out a chapter, having opportunities in front of you, but there is also this people probably promising you more than they can give, and they disappoint you, and you are trying to give of yourself, but you are also worried here that people will manipulate with you, but you're still going into the world with authenticity and taking a chance, and that's the beauty. But the challenge here is that it becomes heavy here, because if people are not going with you in that energy, they have fucking heavy burdens to carry with you. But the amazing thing here is I don't see you giving up. And I do see that being happiness, but there's still something here that should probably be destroyed. And I really get that it has to do with the places, the people you hang out with, but you can't control that. You can't even send them this reading and say you should do this and that. No, you can't do that. And that the beauty is, I feel as though you get this, you understand that, you have that clarity. That's also your strength here. The strength is that understanding also that you are at the threshold of something, about to jump into something. We're gonna read this in a minute here. And so that when people come at you, if they come at you with communications that are actually kind of harsh, that are actually kind of mean-spirited, right? Or they judge you in a way where they project shit onto you from their own life, from their own past. You know the truth because you stand within yourself. You know that you have closed out certain chapters of your life. You have that clarity. For some of you, you actually had a strong father figure in your life. A father figure, mom, dad, doesn't matter. It's just someone who has that father energy with them, which is someone who also makes promises and breaks them and learns to live with them. But they apologize when they do something bad. It's like, I'm so sorry I did this to you, but I'm not perfect. It's understanding of not being perfect. It's the perfect of imperfections, right? Being able to apologize. But it's also an energy of someone here who who helped you or inspired you. It's like a father energy of someone taking your hand and supporting you in figuring out or helping you find out where you want to go by your own means, but they were just supportive. They were there, they were present, they were stable, and they made mistakes, but they acknowledged it. And that is something that gives a strong foundation, that gives a strong inner child, that gives a strong core. Maybe if you're dealing with someone who didn't have that, right? Is it jealous of strength? It's not like an antagonistic reading here, but just get that you're strong here. So if someone here comes your way, and if they start projecting their shit onto you, you have this up here where you know you have closed out certain chapters, because you will also have gone through something here, right? It's a powerful energy of the world. You will have been the student, you will have you've healed yourself, tried to heal others, probably another world there around, but also, yeah, you don't want to give promises that you can't keep, but you basically like an understanding here of the nothing is perfect, but you know at least who you are, and no one's going to tell you that. Now, 2 swords in the reverse, and the dead end here. This is why stupid. It is so much beauty, and then here it comes. This is actually confusion about an ending. Why is it that? Alright, there's an energy here about not trying to push the door open, right? If you find yourself faced with a closed door, please, for God's sake, do not try and push it open. Do not try to dictate truth. Even if someone here is trying to project something onto you, trying to get into your head, or ghost you, or do whatever they want, but yeah. Gonna look into it, because this confusion is not good here, especially when you have this powerful energy here, but that you have opportunities available to you. Do not let anyone here come in and destroy it for you by putting you into a position where you don't know what to believe here, because you then become afraid of manipulation, and then they will again have the opportunity here to put their truth down upon you. We have the Justice in the reverse, tipped here, and we have the Orphaned. The Orphaned is someone who's not healed. It's the child there again. Let's go back to the child here. The Orphaned. Yeah, this is someone who's distant, hates and avoids and controls and puts limits because they were abandoned. Someone here who lets their wound spill out on others. I don't like this. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings that this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you can imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly the most needed, dear one. This is a wound that is around you, in your environment. It's a deep, profound wound, and it plays out in how someone wants to control. I will need to see this. Yeah, alright. So, and the strength in this situation will be your understanding to see this, to sort of maybe even understand that sometimes we are just bound to these sort of idiots. Hate to say it, but we are. But at least stand strong in your own core. Not let it dictate. Don't try to chase. I just keep getting that someone here is trying to throw. It's like having a little demon with you. Not saying I don't believe in that, but you know, it's just yeah. But let's just see here this poet here. The sharp words. I really get as though it's the sharp words from your in your environment that you should probably be mindful of, that they don't get to you in a way that's trying to be mean-spirited. comes with 8 of Swords, 9 of Wands, and the 4 of Cups. This is actually very mean. It's someone. It's an energy here of, I don't know, someone here just don't want someone else to be better than them, or happier than them, or better looking than that. Stems from an insecurity within themselves. I don't know who it is. They don't necessarily have to be the worst of the worst, but it's just, yeah. What's the challenge here? The challenge is the ending. Why do I keep getting that? Someone here has a strong father. Be they here or not, but it's like someone here has been hurt. But it's the end of it. It's the end of it. It's just still, the burdens of it is still being carried. We have actually a lot of 10 there, 10 there, 10, and the world is like, it's the end. It's something new, something good coming your way. And why? It's because this powerful guiding energy that's in the past here, right? They have this embodiment of Leo. They don't have to be a Leo, but this is like what Leo here, what I get Leo, powerful. They are sort of like reminding you that you have options here. This is not who you are. Show me this environment there. It's like someone here wants to keep you on hold. And I'm actually also seeing something that doesn't necessarily, because there's also a positive here, right? I'm seeing like a phone call coming in that's gonna help you get a clarity here. Because you are going somewhere that makes you happy here, right? But it's almost like you know that in the process you have to leave something here else behind, or worst case scenario, you go there and then you realize that in time it's gonna hurt you, and you don't want to be betrayed here. I'm seeing a confusion and a tower moment and an ending. It's where you just, I don't like this. I don't like to see someone who is judgmental and blocks the abundance of other people get victory. And those who are just showing up with an authenticity are being blocked. I don't like seeing that. Your focus here is waiting that you will have victory, that you will be accepted. But somewhere, it's almost like it's there, but you coming, I feel as though you're gonna come to an understanding that there's actually something here you have to walk away from, because it's not gonna bring you the victory you want, because I feel as though someone here is an idiot. I feel as though you're going to have a communication by, it's almost like a friend. I feel you have a good friend here who's gonna open the door for you, in a way. But it's almost like the moment you step into that threshold, an energy that, it's almost like it's just it cannot be that someone's not want to see you. I don't think so. I was just saying, I don't hope you have people around you that have someone here who doesn't want to see another person happy. That they just don't want to see them do better. I hope not. that things will happen here with fairness. I really do. But I am actually seeing someone here being put on hold. It's the wrong. I gotta say, it's not the way that you want to see it happen. But karma always plays in at the end here. Show me karma. The way you get it is the way you will lose it. So if you get something here by being mean-spirited, you're gonna lose it the way you get. You are mean-spirited. I gotta be honest with you. I feel there's a challenge here in being fully accepted by other people, especially because I really get that there's an energy here that has it's like having a troll. Having a troll in your midst, and it's even no matter what you do, the troll is always going to be a fucking troll. But at least I see you being emotionally disconnected and ready to leave, and you have this sort of truth where you can see through it. And there is a new beginning here. And it's also going to be chosen for you, so there's no way of it. There's no point in chasing something that's done. If something is done, there's no point chasing it. And if someone here is promising you the return of something, but it's done, you see it, don't wait around, don't let anything block you. Receive that which is meant for you. Don't let anyone block you. Not by keeping you stagnant, at least. While they are going off chasing something new. All right. Yes, there's abundance waiting for you in the desert. No. There's an abundance here. I feel as though there's a time period of solitude to where you are sort of being asked to imagine it. What does the abundance look like for you? And because that is also probably a way of connecting to your path and to visualizing it. All right, so that's what I have. I will see you next time. Take care. Ciao.